Welcome to Casual Conversations, brought to you by Momentum Ministries, helping you attain, maintain, and regain spiritual momentum. Let's join the conversation with Scott Wade, president of Momentum Ministries.
Good morning. Welcome to Casual Conversations. I'm glad that you are on with me, with Daniel, and with Freddie. Thank you guys for joining me. These are a couple of great guys. I hope I'm going to go see them here in a couple of days. So I hope they're as kind in person as they have been on the podcast. I was on First Sip a few weeks ago and had a great time just talking to them. And I thought they need to tell their story. But before we get into First Sip, why don't we just take a minute and introduce ourselves? People that are watching Casual Conversations know me, or if it's your first time, I'm Scott Wade, an evangelist in the Church of the Nazarene, president of Momentum Ministries, and just the grandfather to 12 wonderful grandchildren. So that's my claim to fame right there, if there's anything. Daniel, what about you? Who are you?
12 grandkids. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't compete with that. That's impressive. That keeps you busy. But thanks so much for having me, Scott. So my name's Daniel Allison. I started First Sip with Freddie Blanton here, and hey, I'm excited to talk to you. You were a guest on First Sip, and that went really well. And we know Aaron, and so this is gonna be a fun conversation. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, anybody that can know Aaron and still talk to me, I have a lot of respect for. So,
hey, absolutely.
we both know what kinds of things we have to put up with, don't we?
That's
All right.
right.
So let me slide over on my screen here to Freddie. Who are you? Who in the world are you?
Who is this guy? Good morning. I am Freddie Blanton, coming at you live from Spartanburg, South Carolina. And we call that Sparkle City because it is truly the jewel of the upstate. I sell Bobcat equipment, compact equipment that you see all across America because it is the #1 brand in the business. I have been married for almost 20 years, and I'm a father of 2 children, 2 boys, 13 and 11. 14. We had a birthday this week. 14
Okay.
and 11.
I saw one of them boys on the Bobcat with you, didn't I?
Oh, that was the customer's kid.
Oh.
I have customers bring their kids to my office, and you can hear them walk in from the front door. Freddie! Freddie!
They want to ride.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool.
We'll need to bring Aaron's my son-in-law's that we've mentioned here. We need to bring his boy Wade up with us when we
will
come.
Put him in the dirt.
He would absolutely love that. I don't know. Maybe if they're off school next week, we're gonna be up with y'all. Maybe we can have him tag along. I don't know, but
bring it on.
So you guys got together. How long ago did you start First Sip?
Well, let me kind of rewind. I'll tell you a little bit of background story,
Okay.
Scott. So Freddie and I, we went to school together, like grade school. And so that was 20 plus years ago, obviously, 30 years ago.
It's amazing how young we still look.
It is amazing.
I know. Yeah. So we were kind of friends in school, and then I ended up taking homeschool. And so we didn't see each other for many years. I'd say at least 15 years, wouldn't you, Freddie?
Yeah.
And so then one day I said, I'm going to go into a new coffee shop. I hadn't been into this particular coffee shop in town. And I said, I'm going to go into this coffee shop. Yeah.
That reminds me, we got to do the old First Sip salute, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Let's do it right now. It's perfect time.
First Sip, let's go.
And so I went into this new coffee shop right downstairs, as a matter of fact, Scott. But as I'm walking into this new coffee shop, I see all these people about my age, all these men sitting out there drinking coffee. One of those men was Freddie Blanton. Turns out that was the F3, Fitness Faith Fellowship Group. I had been looking for a great fitness group to be a part of, and something told me, right, to go into that new coffee shop. Lo and behold, I found the group, I found Freddie, and that's how we reconnected after about 15 years.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's the real deal story there.
Yeah. Now you said it was fitness, faith, and fellowship.
Fellowship, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So how long ago, how long have you been a part of it, Daniel?
So that's been about 5 years ago that we were
Okay.
part of that I started F3, and Freddie and I both are pretty regular, I would say, in that group.
Well, what do you do, Freddie, at F3?
So F3 is a workout group only for men. It's held outside no matter the weather. It's free of charge. The mission of F3 is to plant, grow, and serve small workout groups for men for the invigoration of male community leadership. Men have a hard time coming together.
Yeah.
You know, we work, we parent, we husband. So when you can build a small group of men with the same goals, have them in fellowship, talk about faith, work on their fitness, it just grows their confidence. It is a fantastic group.
Awesome. That is so cool. You have to start a branch down here in Charleston so I can not join it.
There's several down there.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're committed.
I can
You'll
do
be
the,
receiving.
I can
you'll
do the
re- you'll
friends
get
and the
spam
fellowship faith, but I don't know about the fitness part. Well, let's kind of talk about First Sip a little bit. It was so much fun to be on there several weeks ago, and I didn't know what to expect. I started a podcast, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago now, and Daniel, you told me your story about how you just decided to push the button on Anchor and start talking.
Yeah, just everybody has different styles. My style has been, hey, let's jump out of the airplane, let's snap the ball, let's see what happens. You know, I'm a little bit of a create on the fly type of person. So I just hit the button. But First Sip, Scott, you asked about First Sip. I've always wanted to do a morning type of talk show. Before I even knew what a podcast was, I just had something in me that wanted to do something in the morning. I love the morning times. I love having coffee. I'm an energetic person. I've always been told that. So it just made sense for me to do something first thing in the morning.
Who
So-
told you that? Your mama?
My mama told me. My mama told me. She said, Daniel, you're an energetic person. No, but I've
When she-
always heard that.
Every time she gave you your Ritalin, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I know when I was on with both of you, if I'd had hair, it'd have been looking like yours. It'd been all back like this. Because you guys are both bundle of energy and a lot of fun to be around. Well, Daniel, what made you want to do a live program? Or was that, Freddie, was that your decision? How'd you well, first of all, I guess, how'd you come together to do it together?
So Daniel had a show called Jenny Winnie and the Average Dude, and they would do it at lunchtime on LinkedIn. And it ran a while, and I'm not sure what happened with that. I don't know if they had
I still
Daniel,
hear
I don't know what
alive. It's still
okay,
going.
okay. But he wanted to do something in the morning, and he done a few by himself, and then one day he said, hey, you should just join me on this show, First Sip, and let's see what happens. So we did it a few times, and then we were like, hey, we're committing to do this the rest of the year, and it has been a blessing, really. You know, we've had some great guests. A lot of people, if you watch it, can learn some stuff. And then we never intended for it to be a faith-based show, and actually it's not, but so many people come on and talk about how important their faith is.
That's
Well,
good.
if you want to overcome, then you got to have something bigger than yourself, right? I mean, and what we're talking about is overcoming that ebb and flow of life. And we all have challenges, and we all have things that happen. So we need this. We need something bigger than ourselves to pull us through the day. That's what it's really about.
And that's, I think, First Sip is you said to get your mind right. Is that what you
Yes.
do?
Yeah. Yeah. So get that mindset, get your mind right. That can be thought of in a lot of different ways. But for me, getting my mind prepared, that mindset, just like a football player, before he goes out on the field, he's got to get his mind in that space of, I'm going to perform. So whatever it is we're going to do, if we're going to be in sales, or if I'm a doctor, if I'm a teacher, if I'm a housewife, I've got to get my mind in that space where I'm ready to be at my most effective.
And so that's why you decided that early time. Why did you decide to go with a live show instead of a recorded show?
I love live organic conversation. So very often when we turn the camera on, when we hit record, that social mask goes on, right? And that social mask, it's powerful out in public, but when, man, that camera, we tend to change who we are way too much. And with the live program, when you get over that initial hump, man, there's no going back and editing it out. It is what it is. It's authentic. It's real. And to me, that's when we hear those things. Almost, if we screw up and we're human, that's almost as inspiring as anything, right?
It's real. Yeah,
it's real.
that's the whole deal. We
Yeah.
want it to be live. Yes, we goof up on words. Yes, the guests may get nervous, but that's growth. You
Yes.
overcome it and you get back up. You keep pursuing.
Yeah.
It's the whole mindset goal of the show.
I know I've referred a couple of guests that you've had on in the past, and I'm going to keep more coming because I know what it did for me. To be okay, this is a live thing, and it really did. After you get past that hump, like you said, Daniel, it just gets fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're in it.
Be yourself, you know. And it really helps. And I was telling you, I started my podcast with just talking at the camera with notes in front of me, and man, I came across like stiff, like a robot, you know. But man, it helps to have somebody on the screen at least that you can talk to, and you can
Oh, that helps tremendously. Yeah.
forget about the camera at that point. Well, how do you get your guests? I mean, you got to get people. It's a daily program, and so you got to get people willing to say, "Yeah, I'll come on at 7:55." And what do you do? How do you get those people to say yes to that?
Well,
You know-
you know as well as I do, Aaron is a networking legend.
Yeah,
Daniel is the same way. So these guys bring guests. We also asked each guest to maybe refer somebody that they think would be good for the show, because we want to build a community of like-minded people that are pushing for growth and to improve their mindset, who want to go out and win their day. And we all know people like that.
yeah, and
Scott, I'm always on the lookout. Right, there is a certain energy in people when I see those folks. I've had several folks that we've had here recently. I might see them on LinkedIn. I might meet them out, and I might say that person has something that I'm able to ask them authentically and say, hey, we have a show. It's about mindset. I love your attitude. I love your energy. Would you share that with us? Because I need it, you know? And so when someone can feel that that's authentic from us, well, then they know that show's probably for them, you know? And so I'm not going to ask, I'm not just looking to put anybody in there. I want the right people that are really going to try to help.
well, how do you, I don't know, I come up with topics, or do you let your guests do that? What do you do there?
Freddie?
All right. So at the end of the day, we want to bring attention to the guest, right? The show's really about them. There are so many people in the world who are going unnoticed to the public, but are absolute beasts behind the scenes. They're doing big things, but nobody knows about it. They have great topics, great mindset, and all we have to do is plop down in front of the camera, ask a few questions, and boom, here come the nuggets. Here comes the attention. We want them to grow. We want them to get the attention, and we want that mindset to spread.
Hi, this is Amy. We at Momentum Ministries are proud to announce our second book, written by an author other than our own Scott Wade. I Lift Up My Soul is the story of an unlikely journey from the hippie culture of the 60s to the ministry and finally to being a professor at Nazarene Bible College. Join author Sandy Palm as she lifts up her soul. You can order this and other resources on momentumministries.org.
So you have a couple of features that are on there every week. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so we wanted something simple that we could give the ball to the guest and let them have some flexibility in where they take the message. And what we ended up doing is pretty basic. Quote of the day, words of wisdom, and that can be from anyone. So we told you, Scott, but it can be from, you know, sometimes it might be a relative, something that our grandfather said to us, or our father or mother. It might be an imaginary character. It might be funny, but I love the
Might be the average
flexibility.
dude.
It could be the average dude. The average dude had a quote this morning, but you know, anything that those words of wisdom, and that gives us something to piggyback on. And so I love taking a quote that might mean one thing to Scott, one thing to Freddie, and one thing to the average dude, and we all contribute to that, and it really helps us kind of have a discussion. And then Freddie came up with something, and he's really good at this. So you always design things that you're really good at. And so he designed one called the 2-minute skill. And the 2-minute skill is a 2-minute message that is essentially, it's freedom to talk about anything that's on your heart, Scott, is the way I tell guests, right? Just if it's a story, if it's a joke, if it's a lesson, but 2 minutes or less, that helps us to present messages in a clear, concise way.
All right. So you basically, you get the conversation rolling with a quote, and then you ask them, all right, give us a 2-minute message about life, something that you want to share with your listeners.
That's right.
I think you've already addressed this, but as far as the impact that you want First Sip to have on people, why don't you unpack that a little bit? Get their mind right, believe in themselves.
I
Yeah.
think Daniel likes to use the word energy hub.
Yeah, an energy hub, right? And what Freddie said earlier, you know, this recognition, validation of others' strengths, talents, and abilities. You have all these successful people, and sometimes it's just like, hey, you're doing all these successful things. How you doing it? You know, how are you able to overcome all the things that as humans that we have to face? And so we want to be able to tap into that knowledge because they're doing it. Scott, you do it. Freddie does it. I do it every day. We have to do things to overcome it. So I want to know what those nuggets are. I want to know how folks do it. I want it to be something that's beneficial for me and Freddie, that keeps us accountable. I want it to be an opportunity for people to get up there and flex their muscle and show what they know and share their message. I want it to be a place where we can all get excited and all get together. And when we meet on December 3rd, I want new relationships, new collaborations to come from that, and to be lifelong friends and to always lift each other up. All boats rise, no man or woman left behind. And we're just going to have an energy hub of people that want to do the right things.
So you got this energy flowing to one another. And I know I experienced that. And one of the values, excuse me, need my cough button. I don't have one. One of the values that I see in casual conversations is the fact that the person who is my guest is built up. And you're saying the same thing, but then also your listeners, the people who are watching and listening, they can draw on that energy as well and get their minds right for whatever they're facing. So what about you guys personally, by being in, founding and doing this every day, 5 days a week? How have you grown in this process?
Well, it gives you an opportunity to be camera facing 5 days a week. We get to share viewpoints that we've experienced. We get plenty of reps, right? I'm dealing with customers every day. This is repetitions for me, and it builds confidence. It builds character. And then, when we share it on LinkedIn, Facebook, it builds recognition. It builds trust. We limited it to 15 minutes so somebody can actually take the time to watch it. People are busy. And in 15 minutes, you can get a quote of the day, which we speak on, a 2-minute skill that you can extract information and use that day if you just spend 15 minutes watching it. And I think doing that, it just improves mindset to the point where, hey, 15 minutes is worth it.
I like that the analogy there to this is a rep. You're referring, to physical fitness. You do your reps and you grow stronger, and your movement is more coordinated, and this is a rep for you guys. So by doing this daily, you're forcing, may not be the right word, disciplining yourself to have these habits, these skills that become a part of your character. So that's great. What about you, Freddie? What would you say? Or Daniel,
So you go to a basketball game and you watch everybody warming up, right? They're running drills, they're running around the court, they're doing layups with the right hand, layups with the left hand, they're shooting a few threes, and then the whistle blows. So the warm up is what first sip is, right? We're using our communication. We're talking about things. We're getting our energy up. We are getting our minds right for the day. It's that pregame speech before you run onto the field. It's the pregame drills before the ball tips. So we're getting our energy right. And yes, unbelievable benefits. I can't see a time where I won't be doing something in the morning. Again, it's something that I've always wanted to do, but this is something that it keeps me and Freddie have been working out and doing the F3. It's very similar, Scott. It's physical. And then we do the first sip, and it's more kind of mental.
Yeah, good. Well, part of what I like to do on Casual Conversations is to direct my listeners to places where they can be a part of it, they can grow, they can experience things. And I want to do that for First Sip. So if the people that are listening to this podcast or watching this video want to make First Sip a part of their regular regimen, how do they do that? Where do they find you?
We're getting better at that. There's still some lipstick that can be put on the pig, Scott. So we can do better at getting easy instructions for folks. But the easiest way is to follow me or Freddie on LinkedIn. So Daniel Allison, the Average Dude, or Freddie Blanton on LinkedIn, and we will have pointers, little hyperlinks to all of the masterminds content, First Sip content.
And I do post them all on Facebook.
Yes.
On my Facebook page.
Yeah, you can look on Facebook as well. But connect with me on LinkedIn. Again, Masterminds is the name of the media kind of part of this, but Masterminds First Sip is the name of the program, and Daniel Allison, the Average Dude. If you can't find us from there and you still want to find First Sip, you're going to have to reach out to me.
Yeah. And if you're watching this and you want an opportunity to teach, preach, coach, or joke and bring us the goods in 2 minutes or less, reach out.
Yeah, we want to. Hey, if somebody is ready to rock and roll, Scott, I would love to talk to them, because I think this has been a great conversation to talk about what we're looking for.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up, and I want to say a prayer, and then when we conclude our prayer, I just want to give you an opportunity maybe to share what your vision might be for moving this forward, and what First Sip is going to look like in days to come. But first, let's say a prayer. Father, I thank you for these two men of faith who are in the workaday world with faith, fitness, and fellowship, but also, Lord, they're doing First Sip to share messages of encouragement and energy. I pray for Daniel and Freddie that you would bless them in the work that they do. It's kingdom work, whether it's about a particular spiritual topic or not. It's kingdom work because it's bringing hope and light to the world. And I thank you for them. Bless them. Bless First Sip, and bless those who, the guests who come on. And I pray you bless those who listen to it and benefit from it. And may all this be done for the glory of your name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, guys. Thanks again for being on. Before we go, what do you see happening?
Let me go first, Daniel. I want you to wrap it up.
Okay.
And the way I see it is there's so much opportunity for people to dive into negativity. So if we can give somebody a positive 15 minutes, I see it as a success.
I interviewed Jesse Cole of the Savannah Bananas, one of my favorite people to talk to, incredible marketing genius. He changed the game of baseball and he made it all about the fans. Fans first. First Sip is all about the people that are watching. Sure, me and Freddie are going to benefit, but this is for those folks, everybody else, because we can have something that will help you get your mind right, get in the right mood, and we all win together.
That sounds like something that Jesus said one time. If you want to save your life, you have to lose it. You have to
There
give it
you
away,
go.
don't you?
There you go.
All right. Well, guys, thanks so much for being on Casual Conversations today. I really appreciate it.
Thank
I
you.
look forward to seeing you next week when I come up to Spartanburg, Greenville.
Yeah. Hey, that'll be here before we know
It's
it.
going to be big.
It's gonna be big. That's right. That's a couple weeks, isn't it? But anyway,
Yeah.
great to have you on. Thank you so much. God bless you in the work that you're doing, and the light, the hope, the joy, the laughter that you're spreading. Thanks for
Thank
being
you,
on
God.
Casual
Thank you.
Conversation.
Appreciate
Thank-
you.
Thank you to our listeners too. We appreciate you making Casual Conversations a part of your day. God bless you.
See y'all.
Thanks for listening in on Casual Conversations by Momentum Ministries. Check out our website at momentumministries.org, where you will find books and other resources to help you attain, maintain, and regain spiritual momentum. God bless you and have a great day.